Hey guys, this is Civy here. Today we want to talk about how to play the bow spec of Devour. In this video, we are going to only talk about the standard build. We try to keep this video as simple as possible. If you check out the leaderboards right now, there are many players reaching rank 1 titles just by using this standard build. So you don't have to worry. Me, myself are reaching 2300 elite in shovel like easy, no problems. You can always use in this standard build to reach gladiator in 3s also. Okay, so for voice guard talents, this is the standard one. You just copy and paste this and you go straight in right away. This talent is suitable to deal with any situations, even the PvP talents. These 3s are the most standard and the most common talents that players are using. For rotations, imagine this. You are a ball when you play Devour. You are constantly bouncing in and off from the enemies. Every time you have to go, you just go in and you bounce off with Vendor Retreat and you go back in. And when you are not doing your bursting, when you are doing your normal rotation, it goes like this. So reap, consume until you have void ray. After you casting void ray, you back to reap, consume until you reach 35 stack of soul, and then you can do your big burst. Before we go into our big burst, there's a small burst we can do is you press the hunt and you spam the void blade. Just like that. And then you can start doing your big burst after your small burst. You press meta and you press the hunt and you just spam void blade. The only skill here is in between your void blade slashes, you grant a free vendor retreat. So you can press Vendor Retreat in between your slashes. This will grant you immunity for CCs. And there's one more thing. If you press your Void Blade and slash way too fast together, if you are really far away from your enemies, your slash might not register. It's going to be like this. You see the slash was over here, but the enemies was not getting hit by the slash. So you might want to delay the slashes a little bit later after you connect to the enemies to make sure the slash damage is on your target. And if you are out of button to press, either you can hard cast Consume or you can cast Consume Magic or Soul Immolation. Depends on the situations. For defensive wise, you have Blur and Darkness. You want to press to blur even your health is like 100% if the enemy is using a go on you. And especially when your healer is on CC, you definitely press blur right away to prevent the income damage. And in between blur and darkness, you have Vendor Retreat with Glimpse. If you are a Night Elf, you also have Shadow Melt. Blur and Vendor Retreat don't have GCD, so you can press both of them and Soul Immolation at the same time. You want to use these 3 frequently as a pre-pressing. If you master the pre-pressing, you are going to separate yourself from the middle level Devourer to a high level Devourer. Because in many situations when you're facing a rogue, you need to pre-press a lot of stuff. When you see a rogue blinding your healer, you can try to press retreat and see if it's going you. If it's coming towards you, you press Blur and Immolation Aura after your landing. And for Shadow Melt, this can make your enemy lose their target and give you more space and time to press other buttons. Or you can press in Shadow Melt to prevent damage. For example, an Aim Shot or a Chaos Bolt are traveling towards you. Before it hits you, you press Shadow Melt. It will immune the damage. You will not get hit. So this will save you in some critical moments. For Annihilator, these are the standard talents you can use. And I want you to imagine yourself as a machine gun when you play Annihilator. You're trying to maintain a distance between you and your enemy until you have your burst, and then you will do uphill damage. The rotation outside your burst window is very similar as Voice Guard. Basically, you do reap, consume over and over again and you press Void Raid when you have 100 Fury. So once you hit 100 soul, you press meta and you find yourself at better position by pressing shift. You stun your enemy or the healer and you press star. And then you back to reconsume. Or you can do this Devour spam. This will do unhealable damage when you find a good position and you keep the target pinned down. And once you have star back up, you press it again. Keep doing this repeatedly, you will melt down your enemy very soon. And for the defensive wise, we have Blur and Darkness. And we also have some minor defensive like Soul Immolation and Shadow Meld if you are a Night Elf. Different from Voice Guard is our Vendor Retreat doesn't provide immunity for CC and damage reductions because we don't have the Blitz talents when we play Annihilator. So this makes us more vulnerable when we are getting trained. So how we going to do is trying to kite and maintain the distance between you and your enemy by using shift to a better position. For Annihilator, you have 3 stacks of shift, so use it wisely. You can press Blur and Soul Immolation Aura at the same time, and your last resource will be Darkness. So let's talk about how you're going to play Devour in shuffles and threes. You are choosing between 2 spec, depends on the situations. Let's say in shuffles, you're facing variety of classes and comps. If you're facing people that go you and you feel like you are constantly dying, you go to play Voice Guard because Voice Guard have more defensive tool. And if you feel like you're getting kicked a lot, you also go to play Voice Guard because Voice Guard damage are not depending on hardcast. And the situation when you find the enemies are not focusing you at all, you can go Annihilator. You can hard cast if the enemy don't kick you and you would do so much damage. The win condition for Voice Guard is you try to get meta as soon as possible because you only need 35 stack of soul to activate your burst. Every time you have meta, you just press it and pressure the enemy and trying to outlast your defensive by min-max your damage. And when you play Annihilator, your win condition is trying to live through before you have 100 soul. And when you got 100 soul, you want to pick a vulnerable target who are not going to flee away, not going to kick you, and find yourself a good position to deal damage. And remember to press defensive as well. Don't get too greedy to only deal damage. And if you do all of these correctly, you pretty much win the game once you have 100 soul. And how do you use your crowd control is depends on situations. You don't always need to put every of your CC to the healer because there's 3 enemies on the opponent's side. Either peel for your teammates, peel for yourself, and stun or fear or incap in the best situation as possible. For example, if enemy are bursting, you can try to stop them by using your CC. And because every of your CC right now is dispellable, your best bet will be casting on the healer or use your stun where you can stun more than 2 people. So the healer can only dispel 1. That's the ideally situations. And always try to CC a healer when the enemy is low and when you have bursts. This is the best situations to try to control the healer or kick the healer. And let's talk about 3 comps. The best comp right now is Devour Warrior Press or Devour Outlaw Press. And we also can play with a Windwalker or even a Havoc DH because recently it got buffed. Basically, you want another DPS can help you control the enemy when you land your burst. If they can pin down the enemy when you're doing your go, and they also have Mortal Strike effect, it will be a good comps for you. So yeah, and that's pretty much every basic things you need to know about Devour. It's very simple and very effective. It's definitely an S tier right now. If you have more questions or you want to know more mechanics, how it works, more details, you can leave comments or you can go to my Discord channel. Right now, I'm trying to build my Discord so you can find many information over there, like what add-ons I'm using, what macro I'm using. If you want to see my gameplay, you can go to twitch.tv/Civy.